turn this down here. Okay, hey, guys, I'm super excited to talk to you guys tonight. I had a great experience last week in Tennessee with many of you that are on this call. You've heard me talking about it. You may have seen the pictures. So I won't go into deep detail about it right now, but I'm super excited. I learned some amazing things there. I know many of the coaches learned some amazing things there as well. Also excited to answer some questions. I kind of wanted to be available to answer questions that you guys have. I'm always teaching whatever I can and trying to share that with everybody, but I know sometimes there's specific questions that you guys have individually, and I want to be present and available for you guys in that aspect. So, while I was at the retreat, I was really connected with my why I'm a coach, what I'm doing this for. And I'm going to admit right now, so I'm probably going to get emotional sometime during this call, but before we get started, I mentioned just like 40 minutes ago that I have a guest speaker today that's going to be on our call. And this guest speaker, success comes right outside of your comfort zone. So I'm going to help somebody do that today. So if you would come over here. Our guest speaker is Keena Hobbs. She is almost 8 years old. She's 7. She is the older sister. She has 3 siblings. And she wants to talk with you guys about something she's been working on. She's working on finding out what her talents are, what her skills are, and she's had an experience with one of her skills of learning how to do cartwheels. So she wants to teach you guys something that she's learned. So Keena, could you tell us a little bit about doing cartwheels and learning that?
When I learned to do cartwheels, it was hard at first, but I had faith. Faith is when you believe in something. I kept trying so I would be better at it. I practiced more than 100 times. In restaurants, stores, my yard, and my grandma's house. So if you want to learn something, have faith and practice until you get better.
Oh, that's great. So if you want to learn something, you have to practice every single day. And you fell down a lot, but you practice. And now you're like cartwheeling through the aisles at Walmart. You're cartwheeling from the bathroom to the kitchen. So you've gotten good at it, but it was so hard at the beginning, right? So I want to ask you something, because your daddy does Beachbody coaching, that I do workouts. I talk on webinars and YouTube and teach people, right? So what's so special about having your dad home?
To see and cuddle during the day. He doesn't miss activities because he works when he chooses. I get to read and work out with him, and he can take care of us when we're sick.
Oh, that's what I love about doing. That's what I love about being home with you. And I had to work hard for that. And I had to make those sacrifices and fall down a lot like you did to get good at it so I could do that and be home with you. But if you had one more, she's excited. You guys are saying she's doing good. She's amazing. But if you had one last thing to tell everybody on this call, what would it be?
That's right. I'm teaching everybody. Never give up on those workouts and goals.
All right. Thank you, Keena. Well, I better let you go back to getting ready for bed and doing some reading with your mama and sisters and brother. So thank you. Okay. So that was our guest speaker today. So I just wanted to help her get outside of her comfort zone. But now that let me shut the door so she can do her thing. Close over. I think you can learn a lot from a kid, right? From a child. This business is very simple, just like learning anything. But I'm going to share something. This is where I'm going to get a little bit emotional. Thinking about it, it was like an hour ago. I was talking to her, and I was like, she's doing this all the time. So I was thinking about what I was going to teach today, and I was like, Keena, you tell me about cartwheels. It's your skill. And she taught me that. She was telling me about that, and then I just had her write it down. I asked her if she wanted to do it, and she was a little bit nervous at first. Then she got excited about it. She practiced it to me. about 4 times in the living room. And then she asked me, can I go sit in front of the computer and practice it a few times? So she literally sat in here for the past 20 minutes, before I got this call up, and practiced talking to this computer screen. So I think we can learn a lot from that. But, I'm going to talk a lot about some things I learned at the retreat and why I'm doing this, being a coach. And I want to share with you guys the impact. Like, we can make an impact, as the people at the retreat saw, what the difference one person can make. Jennifer and Michael Greenberg taking the leap to join me with this, and then they had 21 diamond coaches at the retreat and over 50 coaches there, and it was the most phenomenal experience. Once again, I'll tell you about that as we get there. But I think we overlook sometimes the impact that we can have on our neighbors, on our kids, and those that are directly around us, whether they are Beachbody coaches or drinking Shakeology or working out or are not. And that's what I want to share with you. This, when she says that she does workouts with me, you guys seen videos, she does it with me. She wakes up, I get up at 6, she gets up at about 6:15, and she's reading. So I pay her $20 every time she reads a book. She's reading this book that I'm recommending you guys to read. She got her little bookmark in here, and she's almost done. So she reads every day. And I want to show you, I got this note, and I'm going to read it to you, so you know what kind of impact you can have just by doing the vital behaviors as a Beachbody coach: working out, eating healthy, sharing with people, loving people, and reading, like improving ourselves. And she's just following that example. It says, Dad, I love us. Dad, I love you so much. I think you are a good dad, husband, coach, example. You're a good example to everyone because people see your videos and they are awesome. We are strong. I know that you will never give up because you know you can do that thing sometimes. And sometimes if you have something you want to do, you plan it. You plan when you're going to do it. You plan what day you're going to do it, what day, because someday is not a day of the week. I know you can do anything if you think you can. I just wanted to share that with you. I love you. Always read the book, I Am. So that is a note that I got. So that's just the impact on just one of my kids, just by doing what we do as Beachbody coaches. So I want to make sure that you guys all understand that the 3 vital behaviors, yes, it'll help you build your business, but it'll have a deep impact on your direct family, your future family, and those that are always around you. Just by seeing you grow and change, they can see what activities you're doing to make that happen. And it's not selling a product, right? Sales come because somebody asks you how your life is so good, then you share it with them. So we're going to run through some things really quick. It's kind of funny, like I'm never nervous to talk to somebody or to do YouTube videos or to get on webinars, but like my voice was shaking, my hands were shaking, letting her experience that. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm emotional about it. I didn't know how it would turn out, but I just want you guys to know that, just as your guys' leader, that I even get like that sometimes, but we just take action. We just do it just like her cartwheels. You just do it, and if you fall, you fall. But you're going to have to fall and keep trying to get good at something. So who are we? What do we stand for? What's our purpose? We had our coaches a while ago write this out, so I want to just always touch on this real quick when I lead a call, because we have brand new coaches on here. We are Team Beachbody coaches. We live our very best and help others do the same. We are the light others can believe in and follow. We empower others. We change lives. We give people courage. We are dream builders. We help people live healthier, more fulfilling lives. We show people there is a better way. And we have the best fitness and nutrition programs out there. So notice the cell came at the end. Okay, coach ethics. I'm just going to hit on this real quick. Always ask somebody first thing when they want help if they're already working with a coach. If a coach wants to switch teams, tell them to reach upline if they aren't getting the support they need from their coach. Number 3, help people no matter what. If you give, you will receive tenfold. That's my philosophy in what I want to expect from our team, and I want to hold our team to that standard and do the best myself and challenge you guys to do that as well. Just wanted to emphasize and remind, I know we have new coaches that are, you do the Coach Training Academy, you hear everybody talking about Success Club and hitting Success Club 5 and Success Club trips and the importance of Success Club and all that stuff. We've been calling it on our team the 3 Lives Club, so that we can get away from thinking of challenge packs and people as points rather than lives that are changed, a life that we give the tools to help them change your life. So 3 Lives Club would mean you had 3 people on a challenge pack, which would get you 6 Success Club points and in Success Club. So if you hear us talking about the 3 Lives Club, when we celebrate that or put a post up about that, that's what we're talking about, is is changing lives, giving people the tools to change their lives with the Beachbody Challenge Pack, whether they become a coach or a customer. So that's what that is. I want to remind you guys right now, and after this call, you're going to understand a little bit deeper the meaning of going to events. But this is an event. This is a big event that you need to go to, not hope to go to or hope that nothing's in the way in your schedule. This is something where you should look at it and be like, oh man, I was planning on going, skiing on that day. This is one of those things where you need to be like, what's my priorities? I love skiing. I want to be at home with my child, or I hate this job. I don't want to be there. You need to weigh the balances. And if realistically you want to make this a full-time job, or you're struggling financially, you're trying to pay off debt, or you're behind on your bills, make those types of choices. This is one of those things that you must do everything you can to get to. I remember going 5 hours to Boise to our first ones because we didn't have Beachbody here in my hometown. So make that sacrifice. Mark your calendar right now. Like, write it down. 10th, I am there. I'm at Super Saturday. You will find your Super Saturday in your Coach Online office. If you can't find it in your Coach Online office, go to www.coachfaq, search Super Saturday. That'll link you to it, and you'll be able to find out where your local event is. So we are excited to see what you learn at your Super Saturday, the people that you meet and connect with at your Super Saturday. So they're every quarter. So January 10th, then there'll be one in the spring, like around April or so. Then there'll be one in June or early July, then one in end of September, and then there'll be one again in January. So they're listed in the Coach Online office. You must be there. You're welcome, Megan. Okay, Super Saturday is Coach Summit. I know there's a wait list, like it's sold out and there's a wait list, but I know Team Beachbody, and they make things happen, and they have continued to make things happen. So if you're not on the wait list, I would honestly get on it, and I would watch your email every single day so that you know you can when that email comes in when you're off the wait list, so you can get registered and be there. It's going to be in Nashville. I'm excited to go back to Tennessee and see all our Tennessee people, but also everybody, all of us from around the country can come together and be there. So that stadium right there, that view of the stadium is how many people that are registered right now. If they're all there, that's what the stadium will look like for our general session. And when you get to walk across stage, or as a Star Diamond, or as a Success Club All-Star. And I remember I got to speak with John in the hot tub, and he is going to walk across that stage as a 2-star diamond. So decide what you want right now. Don't wait until May, June, July, August comes to decide what you want. Decide you want to walk across that stage and be recognized for the lives that you've impacted. I want you guys up there. We're going to fist bump on the way across. So you want to be there. But going back to what we're going to learn about what I took away from the team retreat, guys, this event, we have something special with our team. And I have to give a lot of credit to the Fit for Life team, for Michael, Jennifer, Sandy, Kelly, everybody that's a part of that, Jenna, for creating what they've created, because we had this intimate experience at this retreat last week, and I'm going to talk about it. But Michael, you guys didn't even know what he was doing when he did this, but he did. I guarantee you he did. He understands the importance of us being together and hanging out together, working out together, eating together, being a family like we did at this retreat. And that is why he did everything he could to go. I'll tell you what he did. He drove to Nashville, and he booked half of an entire hotel that even Beachbody was trying to get. So we have half of the entire Embassy Suites hotel. We have rooms saved for that. So if you're on our team, you are invited to be a part of that. So if you didn't know about that, get a hold of Michael or me if you're a part of our team and our downline, because we have those rooms reserved so that when we are done with the meetings, everybody doesn't scatter across the city. We can all come back and hang out in the lobby or the pool or the hot tub or whatever, and we can hang out and we could have those same experiences we had in Tennessee last week for those that were there. Megan, what you want to do is go to www.coachsummit.com. Everything will be in there. So we have an amazing team. I want you guys to understand that I don't know of one other team in this company that has a hotel reserved for their team. So I want you guys to recognize that. I want you guys to make sure that if you have coaches that are not on this call, that they know that, because there's people that would be begging for that. Don't worry about that, Megan. That's okay. So Coach Summit, you want to be there. It's a life changer for so many people. Just like this event that we went to and I'll read some stories from it, but the events are what it's about. If you get yourself to events and your coaches to events, you are going to be successful in this business. Going on from there, I've never missed an event. I'll tell you how much I sacrificed to get to them. And I probably should have died with my wife, but she had a great time. We literally, with the birth of Caleb, we had the baby, stayed there that night. The next night we stayed. The next day we got released. We drove to the house. We picked up our bags and we went immediately, without her even settling in the house, we drove to Southern California to a leadership event, because that's how much I know events are important. So figure it out, how to make it fit your schedule if your priorities are to build this business. Okay, moving on from there, get into the fun stuff. So I was trying to decide what I wanted to really talk about today, and obviously, like when we get back from a Super Saturday or Summit or Leadership, we recap what we learned. And I learned probably more at the retreat I did for our personally sponsored coaches in August and this Fit for Life team retreat than I've ever learned at a Super Saturday or Summit. Because all that stuff, I mean, you can learn them. They eventually put them up in the pages, like in the Coach Online Office, all the trainings, all the breakout sessions, all show up there and you can watch them. But there's power of being connected on a more of an emotional level and together. So that's what I want to talk about with the Fit for Life team retreat. You see this picture, is a little group picture we took one night. This was the mansion that the Greenbergs rented for us. As you can see, we had an amazingly fun and interesting time. We went to Gatlinburg and explored downtown in some areas. And as you can see, Caleb, myself, and Mike Greenberg are doing some awkward thing on top of the mountain. And we were actually just stretching to do a PIO pose with one of the PIO instructors where we had to lift them up. But they caught us in this moment of us being us. And I think so many times, like, it's hard to read on social media. Like, maybe I look so serious, like business building, fitness, intense, sweating my ass off, reading books, checking in on my groups, like on a routine schedule every day. You see me, bam, 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 bam. You see all that, right? It's just like, you see me, this like robot business building coach. But when you get to an event like this, you see that we're all just the same goofy, have fun type of people. And I think that's important. So when you get there, you can see that everybody's no different than you, because a lot of times you don't know what they're like. And I remember that with Lindsay. You know, I thought she was this perfect, outspoken, loud person, and to find out that she was even more quiet than me, I was like, holy smokes, like, if she can do this, I can do this. I know for many people, Caleb's got one of the most amazing personalities, but he's the super quiet guy, just like me, that's hanging out in the corner, observing and listening to people. He's not the life of the crowd, unless he gets his monkey suit on and gets a banana for pictures, which he did. Just seeing that everybody's so real. So I'm going to talk about some things about how this event changed me, okay? But before I talk about it changing me, I want to share a little bit about how it changed some of our other coaches. And there's a picture at the bottom. Again, you get to see some of our coaches. They jacked my phone when I left it on the table and took like 100 silly selfies. This is what it's like. This is the fun part of Team Beachbody in this family. These, aside from Caleb right here, I've never spent time with these three ladies. And we're like family when we're there, immediately. And you're going to hear some of the coaches talk about that. I'm going to read I asked some of the coaches to share their experience, and then I'll share mine, and then the importance of going to events and how it helped me. But I'm going to start right here. I'm not going to be looking at the screen because I'm going to have to read some things. But I'm going to start with Heather. I'm going to read these. Heather says, I want you guys to take note of these, because these are all different personalities, different level coaches, some brand new coaches, some emeralds, some star diamonds, and some that have been in the business for 3.5 years. The most significant takeaway for me, aside from the friendships and family created, was that I truly am not alone. Regardless of how much we are struggling to stay above water right now, there are other coaches in our coaching family who have been there, and now they are multi-star diamond coaches. We are never alone in our Beachbody family. I'm proud to say I've formed friendships for life. You know you have a great team when, even though you never officially met them before, you're greeted with open arms and conversations flow naturally. It's something pretty incredible. Here's the next one. And this is from a 2-star premier coach that started this year. How do I even put into words what this retreat meant to me? I have so many takeaways that it's hard to limit them, but I will try. First, I absolutely agree that this was a family-friend atmosphere, which in turn allowed you to let down your guard and open up and feel safe. Yes, it was business-related, but being able to be honest with yourself and others in this environment is key to being a successful coach leader with your business. As Scotty will say, Beachbody has all the information in your back office to provide you with the tools to be a successful coach, but nothing is a better tool than to be able to share with others your experiences, stories, ideas, and dreams. Second, my heart was overwhelmed by the stories, passion, motivation, and inspiration that I felt from everybody that attended this retreat. It is so true that being around like-minded people only enhances you as a person to do better. The generosity and kindness of others was truly a staple at this retreat, and a stranger could have walked in, which a lot of the coaches were, and felt like they belonged. Third, attending this retreat only affirms my true desire and passion to help others and inspire others in whatever path they choose to follow. I believe I am a better person, mother, wife, daughter, friend, sister, coach, now that Beachbody has come into my life. And I can only try to pay that forward. There are many coaches that had different sacrifices they had to make to attend this event. And I truly cannot express how important it is to have the opportunity to make sure that you do everything possible to attend events as this. Like this. Lifelong friends were made and relationships that will continue to grow as we grow ourselves. JP Cooper, thank you for the post. And I will let you know that just absorbing information from you, Arnaud, and the other top coaches gathered there. It was way too much information for me to process at once. I'm fairly certain that there was smoke coming from my ears. However, I'm already duplicating the message from the retreat. In fact, I have 2 team calls I'm speaker on this week, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Thanks again for being selfless enough to devote that one-on-one time to so many individuals. I didn't sit down with you one-on-one, but I sat and absorbed your messages you worked with others. Ben Owen. I came to this retreat nervous and quiet. I knew many of the names and faces from our team's Facebook group. However, I did not expect the warm welcome I received when I walked into the house. Everyone was so loving and friendly. It was like we had all been friends for years. The connection was my biggest takeaway. We're all striving to reach our own goals as well as help others reach their goals. We're striving for happiness and health. I learned where I can continue to grow my journey. I believe I am made for better things. I believe that I can work hard and escape from a job I don't necessarily love. This retreat was indeed an escape from reality. However, it also changed my outlook on life and has re-energized my determination to help others reach their goals as well as direct me on a path to reach my own. And we just have a couple more. Okay, Tia Champagne. This winter retreat in Tennessee was amazing. My number 1 love language is quality time, and so it's no surprise to me why this event touched me deeply. This is very different than Summit, and I will never miss a retreat like this. The company called Beachbody stepped in when my husband stepped out. It was a very lonely time in my life. The genuine friendships I have made with all of you are a blessing. I had a relationship with most of them that started on mine first. So at this Fit Family Winter Retreat, I was meeting with them in person for the very first time. I loved hearing everyone's stories and being surrounded by nothing but love, positivity, and inspiration. Scotty, when we spoke, I had so many aha moments. 1, I realized I need to invite everyone, not just my niche market. 2, I am leaving this retreat financially. 3, I am a beautiful person. 4, I can do hard things. Okay, Amy. And this one connected with me a lot. Amy says, so many takeaways. I have spent most of my life feeling insignificant. So walking into a retreat, I was definitely nervous. As I experienced on a smaller scale at Summit last year, it just amazes me how everyone is so friendly. No one is judging of others. People are accepted for who they are, and we're all working together to be better. It is as if the utopian civilization has been found in Beachbody. Seriously, thinking about any other job you have had, corporate, factory, office, it doesn't matter. Seems like it just doesn't bring out the best in people. And then you go to a retreat where people cheer on your successes and genuinely care about you and your growth. I come from an upbringing of perfectionism, where you smile and pretend like everything is okay. You don't share the problems with anyone because that would be disgraceful. As the time came closer to sharing our stories, I actually wanted to pack up my bags and go home. My insides felt kind of sick. I was completely humbled in everyone's vulnerability. They opened up and showed such realness. As a result, I honestly, for the first time in my life, felt completely normal. I was not so self-centered to think I was the only one in the world with insecurities. but to hear others talk about their fears so openly was completely redefining for me. So thank you for all my group for being so real. I now realize that I have stood in my own way for so long by not sharing and letting others into my heart. I cannot fully help them in ways that I want. I cannot fully help them in the ways that I want to be able to help. That's how she does that. So let me pop back over to this here. I won't be able to read your if you guys said anything or asked any questions, but man, let's see like a thumbs up or a smiley face if just those 6-7 testimonials make you wish you were at something like that right now in your life. That's right. It's like I get emotional thinking about it because I had these conversations. I saw these people connect and open up and change on so many levels. And those are the takeaways I wanted to share. And I wouldn't even be afraid to reach out to any of the coaches that you've seen on there and just ask them in person, like what changed for them? What was the defining thing at that retreat? And like you said, most of them were connections, feeling like a family, being able to open up. And realistically in this business, like if you just post stuff on Facebook about sales, about challenge groups, you may get somebody that's interested. But when you can open up your heart and you can open up your struggles, people just like Amanda are out there and they haven't taken any action on their life. They're afraid to admit why they've gained weight. They're afraid to admit why they're financially, their situation's out of control. They have all these insecurities and they think they're the only one in the world. And that's how I was as well. And I had that same experience when I went to my first retreat. So I'll thank Lindsay for passing that on to me. And I felt just like Amanda, actually. Lindsay and Billy were sharing their stories. And I was sitting there like, oh, I don't even have a story. Like, I don't even know. Like, I lived a pretty good life. But then I just started talking about life. And I was like, holy smokes, this is why I am the way I am. This is why where I developed self-esteem issues. And this is why I struggled and tried to fit into things and they weren't healthy things. And then when Beachbody came, that's like the 2-minute out of my hour version. Beachbody came in, it was like a healthy way for me to put my energies and increase my self-esteem by helping other people, by helping myself and helping other people. So that was a big thing. So I have to thank Lindsay, my coach, for challenging me to do that. It's something that we had Jennifer and Michael do at our retreat in August, and that got passed on to all of you guys. So I hope that you guys pass on that knowledge or that thing about just opening up. And for those that haven't been to a retreat, if you just open up a little, you don't have to pour your whole life out in one post. A great example of the would be Brigitte Linford. She shares like these little things about her struggles and who she is and why she is the way she is, like once a week, just little snippets. So you don't have to pour everything out on people all at once, but just start sharing more openly who you are. And then people will connect with you. Then they'll be like, oh my gosh, I see you like doing workouts. Tell me about that. So that's a whole nother training on social media and posting on Facebook. But the key takeaway from that is to build relationships. To build relationships, you have to open up. If you want to date somebody or want to marry somebody, you can't just pull a link out of your pocket and sign them up, really give them a ring, right? You got to build that relationship. And you have to open up and share your life with them. Same thing with this, okay? And then you become a family. So my takeaways, right? I was thinking of something funny to say to that, Megan, but I couldn't, the words wouldn't come. It was in my head and I laughed, but I couldn't get the words from my head to you guys. So if I think about it later, I might do it. So how did this event change me? All I can say right now is YOLO. And everybody's probably like, what is YOLO? So we had a great experience at this retreat, and YOLO basically means no sleep. We only have this retreat once a year. You only retreat once. You only retreat once instead of you only live once, and that's once a year we've decided. So I wrote down some of my takeaways. I'm going to share. I'm going to read some of them, but talk in detail about some of them. I'm going to move it over to this other page here so I can still see you guys. I don't like just looking at a screen and like can't tell if you guys ask any questions. It started as a joke and it stuck. So I'm gonna share some of my takeaways that I had, and I'll go into depth on some of them because I think it's important. Very important. Takeaway number one. My number one takeaway was value friendships a little bit more. And some of you might be wondering, why the number one, like you could learn something from a coach, like how to run challenge groups better, or you could learn how to hit higher success club points or whatever, right? But the number one takeaway for me was to value friendships a little bit more. Sometimes I personally do, like, if you want to have this as a serious business, you have to treat it like a business. You have to, show up every day, your activities, your goal of your company, the purpose and vision of your company that you're starting. Even if your company's just you right now, you have to define that and know what that is, and then go to work and put the hustle in and make the sacrifices. That has to happen. But sometimes, and the coaches from this retreat completely understand and know that, like, I love people. My post this morning on my Facebook was about I love people. Like, whether you've been a coach for 3 years and done nothing, I love you just the same as I love a coach that's a 15-star diamond or a 10-star diamond or an elite coach. I love you all the same. That's just me. That's how I was raised by my parents. But I realized through this event, through somebody opening up and sharing their stories, it made me cry, right? Because I realized that one of my top leaders, Michael and Jennifer Greenberg, who put this retreat on, that they don't need guidance on how to run this business. I mean, you guys, those that are on their team, and if you watch them, they are on key. He's the most selfless givers you'll ever meet. I mean, many of my personally sponsored coaches are in a diamond training group he's running. They've been on calls with him, and he does not financially be rewarded for that. So he just loves to give, and he loves the atmosphere of this family, and that's why they're the fit family, him and Jennifer and that entire team, right? But here's what I got. Every event, he asked me to come out a day early, stay a day later, and I always had excuses and no, I got to get back and I got to do this. And he'll send me a text, or if any of you guys have sent me texts or Facebook messages, you guys know I go through, I answer them all at once. And when I answer them, and I'm done. Bam, and I'll come back and I'll answer. I show up every day, but that's how I am. It's like a machine I've created, right? That's what's helped me create this freedom that I have now, so I can put my time into my family, my time into my business, my time into my band, my time into my church, and still be balanced and totally stress-free, because I'm a stress-free coach. But I realized that he, especially as one of our top leaders, what he loves about Beachbody, they love the money and the income they've created, and he was able to retire from the police department. His wife retired before him. She built this business. One of my first coaches retired, they had a baby, then he retired from the police academy or the police force. And then, he shared his story, and he's he was very open. This is the guy that's leading this retreat and set this up. Hey, you guys want to really understand why I put all this money into this, all this planning into this, all this time into you guys. And he's like, it's because I'm the guy my whole entire life that was never picked to be on a team, or the last one, if not never picked for a team. And I never fit in, and I never had friends. And he shared with us, he's like, if I build the business and want all these fancy cars, and I want to do big retreats like this, and I want to have the retreat 2 times bigger next year, because I'm that guy that's if you won't pick me for the team, I'm going to buy the team. So he's not driven okay, if I can't do that, if I'm not picked, I'm going to buy the team, and then they have to accept me. And everyone on his team knows that they don't accept him for that. They accept him for the heart that he gives into the business and into their lives. But that's why he is the way he is. And it nailed me when he said, if Jennifer and I right now, if we're at home and we wanted to do a barbecue, if we wanted to have a barbecue, we have no friends that would come over. And this is the leader of this amazing retreat you're hearing these stories from saying that. And I was like, wow, dude, I have not been a true friend to you. I've been a coach, I've mentored, but I have not been a true friend where we can just be friends outside of Beachbody. And that retreat helped me realize that I need to be that person with more people. So that was a huge takeaway from me to experience him being open enough to share that. And Michael's not a guy that will tear up or cry. He's the police officer where you're trained not to show your emotions. For him to do that, that was an extremely brave and noble thing to do as a leader, to show that to the team. I know it impacted me deeper than he probably will ever imagine, and that's why I hope he's okay with me sharing that on the call as well. Takeaway number 2, learning on a deeper level why somebody does what they're doing and why they do it. So I had a moment in passing with Mr. Caleb Thomas in our room. Caleb was my roommate with Arnaud. When Arnaud left, I had Ben come on in with us as our roommate, and we made sure to do a shirtless Ben Owen. Sorry, Ben. We did a shirtless picture together, and he was our roommate for the last couple of nights. But I had an experience I had one with Ben too, but I had an experience with Caleb, and we talked about our grandfathers, and I was sharing with him one of my struggles about how, sometimes you're judged for having big financial goals. We paid off our home. I brought my wife home as a first goal, then to bring me home, then to pay off our house, then it was to get a dream home, and then it was to, hit the Millionaire Club, and we achieved all those things. And there's sometimes a struggle for me because, there's people that talk about, why does he talk about financial freedom and paying off the house, and the next thing you know, he's buying a cabin, right? And I was talking with Caleb about this and how, I don't let their opinion of me determine who I am, because I know who I am and I know why I do what I do, and I know my real intentions. And so I never really shared with anybody my real intentions on why I bought that cabin in that specific place. And it was because, and I'll share with you, I was like, dude, I had so many experiences with my grandpa since I was a child. Because of some of my past with drugs, I don't remember things sometimes from 5 years ago, let alone a week ago. But the things that burned in my memory are hiking and hunting with my grandpa, and fishing on a lake with him, and getting up at 3:30 and driving there. And those are the things that I remember. I don't remember any of my teachers' names. Hands down, I remember no teachers' names from elementary, junior high, or high school. I remember one high school teacher name. That's how bad my memory is. But I remember in vivid detail truck drives at 3:30 in the morning, picking my grandpa up with my dad, and fishing, and driving all the way to go fishing. And I remember everything about it in vivid detail. And I told him in deep detail, I'm not going to go on it today, but I told him about my grandpa and how I lost him without saying goodbye when I was serving a mission for my church and I was in South America, and how I lost one of my best friends without being able to say goodbye. And we got extremely deep there. And honestly, I was bawling because I was telling in vivid detail some of my thoughts and feelings and experiences with that. And then he is over there crying. So we got 2 grown men sitting in a room across from a king bed from each other. We're like crying, and he's telling me about his cabin. You guys see him go to his parents on, and I can tell you that cabin I bought sits on that lake, where I get to experience that, and I get to have those memories relived today of fishing, and I get to give that to my kids so that I know that no matter what happens in their life, they're going to remember that their dad gave them those memories as a kid. So I wanted to get that legacy for them. So but that's not the important part of it. It was the connecting with him on his and finding out on a deeper reason why he's so successful. Because you guys know Caleb has no real upline support. We're his family. We're his adopted family. And he's driven. He shows up. He does his things. I'm going to hit on that briefly in a little bit too. But he goes to this lodge. You may have seen pictures of him at a lodge. And his grandpa owned a business. And to make it short, his grandpa built this lodge as a legacy. It was like a $2 million lodge that his family can keep. And matter of the fact, this is something I did not know until I opened up and shared with him and we connected. Why he's so driven and so passionate and goes outside of his comfort zone and does what he does on the regular is because if he does not build his business, that lodge is given to their family and split between them, and they just cannot afford the taxes and the upkeep to keep that cabin, and it will be lost. And he will not let his grandfather's legacy go. This is his shot. This is his opportunity, and he's going to give it everything that it takes, and he will make sure that legacy lives on for his grandfather. So, man, when you can find out that one of your coaches is that driven and not just like excited to not donate blood plasma anymore, or not wanting to be in the kitchen serving food to people at a restaurant. But on that deeper level, then you're going to know how to remind him of why he's doing this when it gets hard, because this business will be hard. So I was reiterated with me the power of knowing why somebody's doing what they're doing. So I had that changed me. Understanding that about that, I know better how to help Caleb go to the next level and help push him through with that part of his story. And now Caleb, Michael, and I, and many there have new best friends that we're going to build this amazing business with, right? So next thing, I hit it on again. So you're getting the theme of this. Sometimes all you need is a friend. I wrote a blog about this with all these, if you want to read all this stuff. It says, it's funny how I wrote that knowing there's a big part of my takeaway number one. And this one was specifically, I'll say her name, this one was specifically about Caitlin Lesk. I would say we spent probably 20 hours talking through things about our lives, about our goals, why we're doing what we're doing. And we both had some great breakthroughs, even though she doesn't know exactly all the breakthroughs I've gone through that I've had. But sometimes when you go back and forth with questions and why this and why that and why this and why that, you figure things out on your own in your mind. So I want to say thank you to Caitlin for that. I have a friend for life, and that's one of mine, Kelly, for sure. But yeah, I found a new friend for life outside of, we're going to build this business together. She'll be an elite top coach. I have no doubt from what we understood about her and how to change her mindset about this business. And just so you guys know, she's a successful Star Diamond coach who does this full time that used to be an engineer. So still, there's going to be points in your business that you continually have to grow and learn and change who you are to become the person that you want to be. So I found a new friend, and it's funny that all of those were friendships, right? All the things I've talked about, my takeaway are friends. So you're starting to understand a little bit about mine as well. Takeaway number 4. There was something powerful about seeing people work out together and struggle together during the workouts. So many times I know, and not just in your workouts, but in building this business. You're working out at home and it sucks sometimes. Like today, I literally died. Like I lost some of my life on my carpet downstairs, and it was hard and it sucked. And I 100% hands down will put my hand up and say, you know what kept me going on? Is that picture in the top left. I pictured working next to my family and seeing them struggle and push through it just like I did. And yes, I'm almost tearing up because I miss them and I miss being around all you guys. So the struggle, like seeing people struggle together. Like this is a family, right? Team Beachbody is a family. And if you haven't been to an event, you're going to learn this as you connect and come. And even until you can get to an event, being on this call, that's a fist bump to you because you're part of our family. You can see everybody loving on each other in the comments, sharing with each other like their thoughts and uplifting each other. But it's like you see each other struggle with workouts, you realize you're not alone in that. Number 2, like to see, like just in one-on-one conversations I had, just for me to be like, hey, you know what? That's what I'm going through too. You know, they're struggling with something and they're like, this is really hard. I don't understand why my coaches won't get on the national wake-up call. I can't understand why my coaches aren't getting on the team call. I can't understand why I'm doing a coach training and nobody's coming, right? We all go through those things. And we're like, man, why aren't they getting this? And then you realize that it's all part of the process, that I go through that Jennifer goes through that Kelly goes through that Caleb goes through that Nicole goes through that Jenna goes through that. Every single one of us are going through that. And when you're there one-on-one, it's just like, high five. Like, I feel you. Like, this is part of it. We're going to figure out how to do it better. Instead of saying, oh, this is it. I'm done. I'm not going to do it. I'm out of here. I'm done. Megan is here now. Megan, fist bump to Megan. Everybody give Megan a fist bump. She was one of my first coaches 3.5 years ago. One of my first people I ever helped with P90X. 2 weeks. For 2 weeks now, she's been doing her workouts, and she's been listening to National Wake Up Calls, and she has her first challenger now. And she's like, oh my gosh, this is so simple. Like I was so just overwhelming myself. So go Megan, fist bump. Okay, so family, there was another cool thing that I noticed was seeing us walk down the street together, seeing us walk, and it was Mike doing the family thing, right? Mike and Jennifer, we sat down to eat lunch together. We went to breakfast together at 6:45 in the morning after staying up until 6 o'clock. We went to, we sat down at the table and we ate dinner together. And I come from a family with my parents where we ate dinner together. So if you've had that type of thing, you know how important that is. If you've never had a family where you sit down and eat together, with Beachbody, you can experience that. So simply cool to see that happen. That was one of my big takeaways. Number 5, I have connected on a heart level with most of these coaches. And, look what I wrote again. And have new friends and met new friends over the past week. I can honestly say with all my heart, I will continue staying in the trenches and sharing the steps that I did to get where I'm at. And I got the opportunity by Arnaud to do a little panel. We did like 2 hours maybe of training on this whole thing. I got asked to share, like, what is your goal, Scotty? What do you want? And I can honestly say, and I could honestly just say to each of them, I want you to experience what I'm experiencing right now watching you guys. I want you guys to have what I have. So I really realized that that's what I want, but I also realized that I can't just sit here on webinars every day and say, do this, do that, do this, do that, without running challenge groups myself, without talking to new people myself, without getting out of my comfort zone myself, without just being in the trenches, meeting new people, making videos. I make videos and blog and use my Facebook to find new people so I can talk to them and invite them to join me in this business. So takeaway number 6, and it's kind of a funny one, I can do hard things. Seriously, sometimes and this was a takeaway for me personally, I forgot how much I sacrificed in the first year when there were times when I slept 3 hours a night because I was building this business. I was blogging, making videos, reaching out to brand new people, responding to what they responded to, then writing to more people, and then responding to them. And it starts to compound. I'm writing people and building relationships with these people. And I lost a lot of sleep, and I lost a lot of activities that I loved to do, which were playing Call of Duty, playing softball, extra time playing the guitar. I had to sacrifice all those things and mostly sleep. I lost a lot of sleep and I sacrificed a lot of that. And now, because I built this business, I work a solid 6 to 8 hours a day in the trenches. In the trenches, reading personal development, doing my workouts, blogging about my workouts, making videos, posting on Facebook about my workouts, sharing about my personal development, talking to new people, inviting, doing my challenge groups, doing the whole list of 10 things or the power hour, the thing that I teach. I'm doing those things every day. But I do it now on my own terms and when I want. So I can, if I want to sleep 8 hours, I set my alarm for 8 hours. I wake up and I do my 6 hours. So it's not much of a struggle now to stay committed to doing that. I do that, but it's not a struggle. And I forget how the hard things that I did in the beginning, those sacrifices. So this weekend helped me realize that I can do hard things. Because now I'll admit, tonight I have a movie date with my wife, and she's gonna. I know it's gonna start late tonight. And it's going to be 11:30, and I'm going to start whining. I'm like, but I want to get up at 6 and get my workout in because I'm going to go hunting tomorrow. I'm going to go hike around for a little bit with a friend. And so I want to get up early, work. And so I know tonight during the movie, I'm like, but I'm only going to get 5 hours of sleep. And I realized this weekend that I can do hard things. I don't have to be such a whanny on things like that. Because literally, I think I slept 12 hours from Wednesday until Monday morning. We stayed up till 6 one day, got up at 9. The next day we stayed up till 7:30, got up at 9. So I realized that I was running on pure adrenaline, the love of doing this business, of these friendships. Because I knew when this went, I wouldn't have, I was loving that one-on-one time together. Just being present with somebody, sharing goals and dreams, because we don't get it that often. And I knew that it was going away on Sunday morning, so I didn't want to miss an hour. So I made that sacrifice. So I realized that I could do hard things. And I even laid down at 2, 3 in the afternoon a couple of times. Laid down on my bed, set my alarm for 5 to sleep 2 hours. And then I'd freaking hear those guys doing PIO or doing turbo kick because we had instructors there. And I was just I can't. I got so many people I need to talk to. So I can do hard things. So those are some of the things that I learned, that I took away from this retreat. So you guys could tell it was an amazing experience for me as well. And you can always continually learn from other people. You can continually be inspired and expand your vision for people. One of the biggest things that I felt was, and I'll give an example of Caleb that I want you guys to understand is I need you guys to, I got a book here. We're going to town. We just got serious, guys. Pulling out the personal development. I was talking to Caleb, and we were sitting there, and Caleb and I were just talking, and everybody's like mingling. There's like 50 people in this big kitchen, and Caleb is like, man, dude, I can't wait until I can do this for my team, like do a retreat like this for my team. And I was like, dude, like, no, like that's going to be cool. But I want you right now to look at these people. I was like, tell me one of your coaches right now that's building this business, that's showing up, that's doing the things that you're telling them. And he said, Callie. Her name is Callie. And I was like, okay, tell me about Callie. He told me about Callie. And we actually ended up writing Callie a message on Facebook right then. We opened up his phone. I wrote her a message from mine, just instilling some belief and vision into her that she could do this, and that we believed in her. And I was like, okay, now Caleb, sit right here. Put yourself in my shoes right now. What's it going to feel like when Callie creates this for her life, because that's what she wants? And you're just here like to experience that, that because you went through these hard things yourself, and yes, you have all this that you wanted, and you have your grandpa's legacy secured, but now somebody else that believed in you and you helped believe in themselves has created something like that for your life, for their life. And he's like, oh man, it just got real. It was like a moment where he's like, I've never really seen past that. So I want you guys, if you're thinking right now about a diamond, about becoming a diamond, or about getting your first emerald coach or your first diamond so you can be star diamond, that's not going to drive you. That's not going to make you make the sacrifices that you need to make to build this business to the level that you want to. So, not your retreat, at a coach of your retreat, yes. So I want you to think a little bit bigger, dream a little bit bigger. And I was thinking about this today because I'm going to be very open about my struggles, and I hope that all of our team can hear this. You know, I shared some of our values in the beginning, but and as I'm holding my personal development book, I have to say this because I'm thinking about it. When you think about something, you'll know about me. I always teach it. I had an hour conversation with one of my 2-star diamond qualifying coaches that is struggling right now, having a really hard time. And it comes down, and I didn't ask her about it. I asked questions until we figured it out, but they're not reading personal development. This one is the Motivation Manifesto from Brendon Burchard. But I found out that they weren't reading personal development. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not reading at least one book per month, you are going to give up at some point when it gets too hard. And you may not quit, but you're going to give up and stop, and you're going to lose all momentum, and you're going to have to start over. So get on it. So I'm going to share something here that I want and I expect from myself first, but then from you guys as well as part of our team. Okay. There's a little quote here. It says, no matter the position we hold at work, at school, or in our community, and I'm going to say you guys as Beachbody coaches, what you're doing with everything we've talked about today, we hold a position in our community to help end the trend of obesity and help people realize that there's a better way, and a way for them if they're struggling in life to have better connections and positive people in their life. We have a big part to play in our community with what we're doing. Whether they ever buy something, we have an example to uphold for the integrity of this company and our team. So it says, no matter the position we hold at work or school or in our community, we shall show the world an alternative example by always caring enough to be remarkable and unifying. So be remarkable and unifying. The Motivation Manifesto by Brendon Burchard. So I want us to each demand higher standards of ourselves. By higher standards, that means if you want this to be a business and you want to make an impact and you're not showing up on a daily basis, then raise yourself to a higher standard. If you're in your mind constantly complaining about where you're at and not where you want to be, you got to raise your standard of your thinking to a higher level. So think about the things where you know you're not living at your highest level, write them down and decide that you're going to live at a higher level, that you're going to challenge yourself to be more remarkable. It says right here, a society, and we're going to make a difference, guys. It says a society that lacks good people willing to speak against evil or low standards can only devolve into darkness and mediocrity. This is what a virtuous world requires. Candid people willing to hold high standards for themselves, and for others. So that's something I've never been really bold at. I've always tried to hold a high standard for myself, to always raise the bar, to do the whole Will Smith thing and get on the treadmill and run harder than the person that's next to me. But I've never really challenged people on our team and my coaches to live at a higher level as well. And to not accept mediocrity, to not fall into the trap of being average or being somebody that complains if things are hard. So I want to challenge you guys, along with myself, as we, not on January 1st, but now, just to make the decision every day. Sometimes it seems hard, like in 2015, I'm going to live at a higher level, or I'm going to set a higher standard for myself. So to do that easily, like I said, write it down. These are my weaknesses. And then you're going to start tomorrow on, when you catch yourself not at the highest standard, to change your mindset or change your actions immediately. And over time, you'll develop a habit where you become that person that lives at a higher standard. When you can do that, you're going to start seeing a big change in your life. I can 100% tell you guys that. Another thing I want you guys to know, you guys saw some of those testimonials. Everything you need to know about this business you can find in the Coach Online office. We got like a bajillion training materials in Team Dynasty and the Fit family. We got them in my PS Coach page. There is like everything you would ever need to know once you make a decision. I can guarantee you that the people that are going to change their business that have been stagnant from the retreat was not anything about the technical stuff about Beachbody, running better challenge groups, training my coaches better. Sure, those things that were touched on, but they're going to change because they made a decision that what we had is much deeper than selling somebody a product, right? That we have a better way of life, that we can give somebody something. And when you truly believe that, the thing that's going to change for them is they can now, I have a list of questions here, but we're going to hit on them very briefly. A lot of them were overcoming price objections. I'm going to ask you guys a question right now, and I want you to answer it to yourself. I'm not even going to tell you the answer. With what you saw me share from my heart about my takeaways and the takeaways of these coaches, if they open up and share on a personal, connected level with a potential challenger or potential coach, on that level, the value that they get from being a part of this team, and then just the fact that the workouts are awesome, do you feel that you should ever have a price objection? Should you ever have a price objection if you are fully committed and have felt what those guys felt? Absolutely not. And I'll let you guys each answer that for yourself. And if you're not at that point yet, you need to work on your own belief in yourself. And is this a company that you can fully believe in and support? Is this a team that you can fully support in and believe in? Can you believe in yourself? Can you believe that you are committed enough to not complain, to show up with a positive attitude, always willing to learn and grow, to understand that a struggle is what builds character? Are you that person so that you can help teach somebody else that? And do you believe that our products work? And do you believe that if anybody does our workouts, drinks Shakeology, reads personal development, connects with you amazing people on the team, that their life will be better? If it's better, that's an investment in itself, where they get Shakeology and they got their workout for free, right? I know coaches from this retreat, I would never want to say you want to buy friends, but I know coaches that retreat that would spend $15 a month plus $98 just to be a part of something like that, to have that deep of a relationship and have that many people around them that believe in themselves. So get yourself to that level of belief, because that's what these guys have done. And now they're going to be successful, not because we trained them on anything, on how to, I know I never told one person how to overcome an objection at that meeting, but I know they will. because they are solid in why they're doing this, how they feel doing it, and what they're going to do going forward from this. So write this down, because I was going to teach this on the call, but and it's something that that Caleb taught on a video today. So write it down. Watch Caleb's video on what to say when somebody asks you what a coach is, or what you do as a Beachbody coach, because now that you got this fire and this passion leaving out of this, people are going to ask you what you're doing. So you need to know what to say. So watch Caleb's video. And I want to give a point about Caleb in this. I was talking with Steven for a good hour at the dinner table. We were in the corner. I was talking about his goals. We had a lot in common. And, he told me what he wanted, why he was going to do it. And then I said, okay, this is not a coach on coach thing anymore. You're at home, and I see you just got to this retreat. I'm your friend from high school. I said, Steven, dude, this is a Facebook message. Dude, Steven, I saw you at this retreat. You were working out with people. You seemed really excited and happy. Tell me about that. I want to know what you're doing. And he really did not know what to say. And Caleb's video will explain this exactly. So I was going to teach you guys how to do that and what to say, but I want you guys to write it down and go watch that video, because it's an important thing, because that's a skill to know what to say when somebody comes to you. What do you do next? Something you have to learn if you don't know how to do that yet. But the thing I want to teach about Caleb is Caleb wasn't even talking in that conversation, but he was sitting here because, he's a diamond coach. He's building his business, but he sat there and he watched me question and talk with and build a relationship with Steve. And instead of just writing down notes, going home and forgetting about it and not applying it, he went home immediately and he taught that. He immediately put it into action. So when you learn something, what you can learn from Caleb right there is observe, learn, do, and then teach it to somebody else. That's all I'm doing when I teach videos. When you see Caleb teaching videos, all we're doing is when you teach something, it becomes more ingrained into who you are. The more you teach it, the more you're going to be comfortable in talking about it when somebody asks you about it. So when you learn something, apply it, teach it. Take ownership of that. So we already went to 1 hour, and that was going to be my limit today, but I do want to answer a couple of these questions. And these are going to be easy. How to expand your cold market, and they said Instagram in particular. I'll tell you what, I don't know how to use Instagram. I'm not very good at a like page. I personally expand my market using Facebook, YouTube, and a blog. Those are the 3 things that I use. So I found what was working for me, and I tried all of them. I have a like page, I have Instagram, I have everything. Yep, so if you want to learn one of those things, go to one of the people that are doing them and watch what they're doing. And I guarantee you, if you go to our team call recordings, there's going to be like 5 different Instagram trainings, a few different like page trainings, some YouTube trainings. They're all there, so you can watch those. But what I want you to understand about this on expanding your market, don't try to do all of them, because you'll never become great at one of them or 2 of them. Find what's working for you. And like John says, Miguel has a killer call. I have a coach, Terry Fisher, in Canada, who had never really built his business. He went diamond and started hitting like Success Club 20 when he applied what he learned from the like page. So I can't tell you exactly how to do Instagram or which one to use, but don't try it as you learn these tips from Alyssa or from Miguel or from me on YouTube or Caleb on YouTube. Don't try to be us, because you'll be lost in trying to find yourself. And from this call, you've learned that if you want to connect with people, you've got to be open and share who you are. So try them all, find which ones works, or when you get that little seed of a result, start putting more energy into that, and then focus on mastering that, and realize that to become a master in something, it takes 7 years to become a master. So it takes time. Just like Keena taught you guys to do cartwheels, she had to fall, and then eventually she got it. So that's what I have to say about that. How to reconnect with your coaches when they go missing in action. I'll tell you guys, you're going to experience it. You're going to have coaches. I mean, Megan, I'll call you out because you called yourself out on here. She was a coach for 3.5 years, and she's just now, 3.5 years later, starting to build this business and be serious, right? So she was what you would call missing in action. So what I want you to know, that's one of the reasons why we talk about Success Club is so important. You have to continually add to your team, because everybody's not going to be ready to build at the pace you want to. Some of your coaches are going to need to work on personal development and workouts and themselves and their belief for a year before they're ready to build a business. So if you sign up 8 coaches and think you're going to be a strong diamond, you're going to have to rethink that thought and realize that's why we're telling you Success Club 5 every month is going to be important to build a solid business, because I know Megan's going to build a solid business. She's doing all the steps now. She's done it for 2 weeks. All she got to do that now is stay consistent in that for the next 3 years, and she's got a solid full-time job, right? But if I would have sat around and waited for her to do it and begged her to do it along with the other 8, none of you guys would be here today. I can guarantee you none of you guys would be on this call today if I would have waited. So as much as you love them all, do your best to stay connected with them. The way I do it is I post every day in my groups. I teach what I learn in my groups. Anything I learn, I teach it in there. I send a Monday weekly email to all my coaches, sharing to get on the call, a video of encouragement to them. So many things. I'm sending out cards to all my coaches. And another thing that I do is when my coaches sign up, they know, I let them know that their success is going to depend on them, and that I'm not going to beg them to do this business with me, that I'm not going to be responsible for their success, but I'm going to celebrate it with them and help them understand that if I feed them for a day, they're going to eat for a day. But if I can teach, right, if you give them a fish, they'll eat for a day. If you teach them to fish, they'll fish for life. So as you start coaches, make sure they understand that you're there for them, but you're not going to drag them. You're going to help them connect with why they're doing this. All the tools are there for them to be successful. And then show them every day the steps they need to take so that they can become successful. So it's on your hands to make sure that you do that. And that's one of those things where I said, I'm going to be in the trenches, like showing you guys how to do this. So that's how I reconnect when they go missing in action. Last minute, if I try to sign up discount coaches through Coach Waiver on a challenge pack, then expose them to the business, hope they want to build it, is that a good strategy to build a team, or am I way off? No, it's like, I think, JC, with this business, it's really just about connecting with them like we talked about. Find out what they want. So if becoming a discount coach right now helps them with what they want, if they love Shakeology, they're going to do the workouts, there's no reason they shouldn't be a discount coach. Just let them know, and you have to understand as their coach that when you're maybe you have 5 of those and you're like, I want to be a diamond, and you sign up your next 3, that you can't push those guys to sign up coaches and build a business, because that's not what they're in it for yet. So nothing wrong in a discount coach and having somebody on the discount, because it saves them a little bit of money. But just make sure as you're setting your goals that you don't try to push them into being a part of your agenda, that you always remember that it's about them and they're a discount coach for now. So, because I start people as challengers, I start people as discount coaches, and I start people that are ready to build a business from the start. So I start all 3, and I start them depending on what they want and what they need. I'll just suggest what I think would be best for them and why, and then let them make the decision. So the next thing, okay, one of them is can't get past the cost of a workout and Shakeology. We covered that, right? Show a little, add some more value into everything about that. So you guys understand that, correct? How to overcome an objection, add more value, and understand that a no is not no. A no is just no, not right now. I think that's a good thing to hit on. You can talk on so many things. A no is not right now, right? So many of my prospects, I say the seeds that I plant today are usually 3 to 6 months before they're ready to start. So don't get discouraged when you're inviting people now. It doesn't mean you're not going to find somebody now, but just understand that. I've had some that take months. I've had some that take 3 years to get started. One of my best friends took exactly 3 years to get started. One of my other best friends that completely changed my life at one point, he took a solid 2 years before he got started. So it was up to me to continue and like have that mentality. I'm going to go to this vision that I've created for my life of seeing my daughter get off the school bus, of being home with her. And then just planting those seeds every single day. So remember that. It's in this type of business, just so you guys know, it takes somebody about, I think it's like 6 to 8 exposures to what you do before they're even open to understanding it and learning about it and making a choice. Christy just became a coach today. Yesterday. Christy and I had many conversations where I was just sharing video after video after video. So Christy, when you're wondering why I sent you all these videos and I just kept saying, hey, what do you like about this video? Watch this. What do you like about it? I was exposing you to it so that you could be open enough to make the choice in your mind to do it. So that's what I'm doing every single day. So many people could take Christy not signing up when we first talked about it. We got on the phone months ago and she's like, I'm going to do this. But it took another 3 months. And so all I did was continue to educate her, give her tools to open up her mind to see what we had. So remember that a no is not a no right now. That's why you have to decide that you're going to be here a year from now, because you could plant seeds for 6 months, and if you stop, those seeds will die, and they're never going to come through. And if they do come through and they're ready, you're going to be gone, and they're going to go to somebody else and join somebody else's team. Boom. So there you go. And the last one I'm going to do is how to get over shyness. The best way to get over shyness is to realize that how do I say this? Because I'm shy. Jennifer Greenberg's shy. Caleb is a quiet and reserved, somewhat shy guy. So to overcome shyness, you just have to understand that, hey, if I want to build a team and build relationships with people, I have to get over this shyness. Because if you just say, hey, one day when I'm not shy, I'm going to build this business, it's going to be 5 years from now, and you're going to be like, dang it, why didn't I just do that? So the best way to get over that, I would say do the three vital behaviors, the one of invite, and just practice asking people questions, and don't even worry about if they're going to buy something from you or join your team. Just get to know them. Just start doing conversations. Next time you go, if you're shy, next time you're at the grocery store and you're checking out, ask them their name, the person that's checking you out. Ask them how long they've worked there. Ask them if they have a family. Just practice talking to people. And that is the only way that you're going to get over being shy. There's nothing I can tell you to read to overcome shyness. Overcome shyness is going to come from just doing it, just talking to people, learning to talk to people. And I just want you to understand that most people are just as insecure as you are inside with this shyness. Because most of us are shy because we're insecure about some things in our life. So just realize that everybody is just as insecure as you are. And then just have a conversation. You got to stop being afraid of people. And I had that same problem where I was afraid to talk to people that were business owners or people that were above me in companies. It was nerve-wracking for me to ask for days off to my boss when I was a dental lab technician. That was how shy I was. So reading personal development, I'm not saying any book will do it, but reading personal development will help you believe in yourself more, understand your worth and who you are as a person. And as you do that, get more confident in that, and you just start practicing with people, you're going to become more comfortable, and you will overcome the shyness, just like Kina overcame her ability to not do cartwheels, and now she can do them. And now she does like round-offs and stuff. No one's even taught her how to do this stuff, and she's like doing round-offs onto the couch and then somersaulting off all in like one move. So once you start talking to people, you're going to get better at it, and then you'll let your true personality come out as you get more confident in that, and then you'll get better at it. So it's a skill that you need to learn. So just decide, write it down on your things that you have to improve and work on and improve in excellence with. I need to get over my shyness, This is what I'm going to do every day. And then set goals for yourself. I'm going to meet one brand new person in person, and I'm going to talk to them, even if it only lasts 30 seconds. I'm going to ask a couple questions. I'm going to get to know them, ask something about them. And if that's all you got, you did a little bit, and you're going to start to improve. So that is all I want to share with you guys today. I'm glad you guys got on here. Sorry we went about 15 minutes over my hour that I wanted, but because I empower my coaches to lead these team calls and step out of their comfort zones, I don't get on here as much as I would like to. And I only had 2 scoops of E&E tonight, but I got super excited as we got started, and that's why we went a little bit long. But I am passionate about this business. And when you can get to that level, somebody can come over here and tell you this is a pyramid scheme, or you're wasting your time, or this or that. But if you gain confidence by doing the skills and improving yourself and rising yourself to a higher level every day with us, you're going to be confident enough to say, like, hey, you know what? No, it's not. And I'll tell you why. Because this is what I do, this is what I stand for, and I'm helping these people. And I feel good doing that, and I'm going to do that for the rest of my life. So become confident in that. If you're lacking in a skill, don't try to do everything at once, learn everything at once. Learn that one thing that you need to do next, and decide that you're going to learn to master that skill, just like Kina doing those. And I believe in you guys. And just like I said at the retreat, I'm on here going a little bit late because I want you guys to have what I have. I want you guys, not even the income or the financial freedom or the worries about that. I want you guys to experience on a deep heart level what I feel connected with all of you coaches, with my kids, being a stay-at-home dad. I'm not going to lie. I'm still catching up from Tennessee. I got to have an hour and a half nap with my wife from 12 to 1:30. Like, how freaking cool is that? And I didn't have to ask of my boss. Hands down, right? Like, how many of you would love something like that? Decide really what you think your life should be like. Design your life, set those goals, and then you go out and decide that you're going to learn the skills and stay connected to the people that are going to help you do that. I believe in you guys. This call was recorded, so if it helped you, make sure you share it with one of your coaches so that they can feel this as well. I'm looking forward to being invited to listen to your calls in the future. I believe in you guys. Let's go out. Let's raise our standards. Let's challenge ourselves. Let's not coast into the finish line. Let's show Carl Deichler that we are the best family of coaches in Team Beachbody. Thumbs up. Let's do it, guys. See you later. Car crash, it's looking like another